Hello, everyone. Welcome to AWS She Builds Tech Skills. And this is our very first series for 2024. My name is Major, and I'm a solutions architect from AWS. And I have got our super host, Mai. Mai, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Shatani, Senior Solutions Architect from AWS as well. So before we get into today's topic, what do we got today, May?
Well, we have got lots of exciting things happening today. But first of all, happy International Women's Day for 2024. It's 8th of March here in Australia. So I'm based out of Sydney, Australia. Let us know where you all are joining from. But just want to call out Happy International Women's Day to all the women out there, all the male allies. Today is a day where it reminds us how far we have come, reflects on the challenges that we have, and hopefully, collectively together, we can drive more equitable world in the future.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
Yeah, love to know what people are getting up to today. Well,
yeah,
it could be tomorrow for some people living over in the US, etc.
we kind of in the future. Australia is kind of in the future of being in the in the different hemisphere to the US folks. So if you're in the US, it might be a day behind, but let us know what you're doing for International Women's Day. We have got a number of events happening today's around the International Women's Day and celebrating. But yeah, let us know what you all are doing in the chat.
All right. Cool. So speaking of events, there are a few cool events coming up, including AWS ANZ Summit in Sydney. So May, tell us a little bit about what you'll be doing at Summit this year.
I think rather than telling people, I think I'm going to share the screen and show people. So if you're watching today's on Twitch, so if you're watching on YouTube, because we're streaming on 2 channels. So if you're watching on YouTube, continue to watch there. But if you want to have a chat with us, come to twitch.tv/AWS, where you can have a chat, ask questions, and have those engagement. So it was Sydney Summit. So if those who are in Australia, you might be familiar with Sydney Summit, where we host a educational conference in Australia or in the region, and there are lots of technical sessions. There are lots of community sessions, workshops that are open to public. So it's really exciting 2 days event this year, and lots of preparation have gone into it. So what I wanted to share is, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the Sydney Summit, please go and register there. I am going to drop a link in the chat as we are speaking. And I want to highlight 2 sessions, just highlighting a few of the sessions that we've been working on. So the first session is mine. Do you want to talk about your sessions a little bit and how far the preparation has gone into it?
Sure. So we have platform engineering of EKS. So I will be speaking about, obviously, Amazon EKS, but there's more to it with my co-speaker, who is a container specialist too. So we're both in the containers specialist area within AWS. And a lot of our customers are talking about how do we start to build an internal platform so you can self-service, right? So that's the ultimate goal, and we talk about how to actually get there, and we'll dive deep into it with a demo as well. So come along, and you might think, oh well, this is a bit of a dry topic, isn't it? But we've enhanced it with an awesome story. So come for the story and stay for the demo, and actually tools on how to get there.
I can't wait. It's a big topic. Sometimes when you go talk about really technical topic, it could be a little bit dry, right? So we have to put humor or a bit of a more interesting character into the stories. I can't wait to hear those stories. There is a shout out to the more women dev from the planet from Monkey. Welcome to the sessions and thank you. And we're going to give shout out to more women. And today, especially, we're going to give shout out to one of our community superstar today. So stay tuned. The second sessions I want to talk about is the essential security practices. So you talk about, how we can build the platform for the developers or the organization to adopt and deploy those workflow really quickly, more effectively, efficiently. But we also need to look after the security practices across the software development lifecycle. So this sessions, this is plugging in my session. So this is my session with my co-speaker, talking through security practices in the software development lifecycle. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight every checkpoint from the design to deployment. So every stage in the SDLC, where are the security checkpoints that the team should consider. And we talk a lot about shifting left in the security, which is really important, but what can we do more? Every checkpoint of those life cycles and security being throughout the whole life cycle, making it more secure and not being a blocker at the end. And, every day is a happy days for developers when the deployments go into production successfully. So that's what we're going to talk about on the session. So if you haven't registered, make sure you do register. All right. The next one, I think we should introduce our guest speakers.
Yeah, sure. So we do have Nadia, and she's been on our Tech Skills show last time as well. And I believe she was talking about Bedrock, all about AI/ML. So we're pleased to have her back to this show again. And Nadia is a senior full stack engineer at Trust AI. So she gets to play with all the experimental AI/ML services on AWS. So welcome on board, Nadia.
Hi, hello everyone. Thanks for having me back again, and happy International Women's Day to everyone out there.
Absolutely. And if anyone have any questions or any questions about the summit, any questions about the, I don't know, like DevOps, full stack, please drop in the chat. Let us know. Nadia, I know you have been in the industry for many, many years and being part of the community. And today what we want to do is we want to talk a little bit about your community journey. So you've been part of the community journey, you have lots of contribution within the community. Tell us a little bit about, looking back 4 or 5 years or even longer, what was your first experience like back in the day as a community member? And now you're a community builder now.
Sure. So my journey is a little bit different because I had like a career switch I started as a software test engineer, and I thought that, oh, this is a happy place and I love it. And I really enjoyed it. Then after a while, I felt like I want to create more, like having more hands-on and creating things instead of just testing other people's work. That was like a course I took, and I became a developer. I landed at my first job. And I was really lucky to be in a team that they are all of them are active in community. So I was introduced to AWS Community Builder, which I became a member of that. But because it was earliest stage of my career, I think this is most of like the experience, maybe some of people that they are at the earliest stage, they might experience. And I went through that as well because I didn't know what they do. I just joined, and I was so lucky I was accepted like at first attempt. And unfortunately, I missed it because I wasn't active. I didn't know how to use it. What's the benefit of being part of that? And the more I was in depth and I more got connected to people that they were part of that community, AWS Community Builder, I found that, oh, okay, so that's the benefit. You meet people, you learn from them, you find out how other people are contributing against like company with their presentation, blog posts. And then I wanted again to become like part of this community. So that's how my journey started with AWS Community Builder. And then when you are one of those, you learn how to contribute. It will be like a passion for everyone. It's not just me. Everyone part of this community, they have the passion of learning new things and sharing it with other community. And I found it really helpful because when I joined first, I learned a lot from community. And then when I wanted to become part of community, now I try to be the same to new people. So that's how my journey started.
Yeah, that's really cool that you have a, the career switch, and also looking at it from a different aspect at how you can beneficial from joining the community and also be part of the community. I do have a few questions, but Mai, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, sure. So I've also been part of the AWS community before I joined AWS, and I believe community days were a part of getting together with the AWS community. So I started off there as well, and I did a session around augmented reality with Sumerian, Amazon Sumerian, which is still there, but not as big as when it was launched before. So it was a bit of a fun project, and I remember I still keep in touch with the community members still at the moment. So have you built a lot of great friendships through AWS Community Builder, Nadia?
Oh, yes. That's a game changer, to be honest. That's the best part, because I believe it's more of a culture than just a community, because when you join, first of all the people are really welcoming, and you connect to people, and the big names you see on LinkedIn, they're all there, and you connect to them, and they're really inspiring, like Joseph, like I follow you guys. So it's just like something that I like know a lot of people through the community, and you find that because it's just like a pattern, you follow them for a while, and you find out how other people are contributing, how they work in like tech world. And then after some time, you find out your own fingerprint, and you find like you separate the branch, and you try to do the same thing to other people. So it's been a great opportunity. I think meeting people, connecting to people is the best part and the highlight of like being part of this community to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being part of the community where you spend time, and then you learn from each other, share experience, and who knows, new opportunities might pop up. Who knows, you might have opportunity to present at different events and different the conferences and stuff. So that could really be I guess like the benefits being part of the community, and also help mentor other like new generation. There might be people fresh out of uni, changing career, looking for opportunity to connect, and also like looking for mentor. And I think when you are in that position to lend a hand, and also be just to give it back to the community by guiding them, providing guidance, whether if it is like interview tips, or whether if it's like a certification. Maybe Mai could give certification tips, since she have got 12 certifications in her hand. So like awesome. That's I think that's really important.
Yeah, cool. Absolutely.
And I know we have got one question from the audience. Thank you. If you have any questions, please pop it in the chat. But one question from us is, how do I take part to become a solutions architect in this current market? Do we even have a job for a solutions architect? I can answer this question, but I wanna give it to Mai and also Nadia after that, and just to give a little input on what do you think? Do we still have what's happening in this current market? But it's interesting, right?
Yeah, so solutions architects, there's always going to be, even with a lot of automation happening with so many different tools, especially in the AI/ML space, I think even though it's going down that path, there would still in the future will be roles available for solutions architects. Now, the name could change. Previously, back in the day, I think there were enterprise architects, and then it kind of changed into
that's right.
Solutions architect space. So there's still going to be a need for someone, a human, to be able to come up with solutions, because at this point in time, AI tooling doesn't come up with that, but who knows, right? Who knows what happens tomorrow? But not to put any fear into everyone. I still think we're a little bit far away from having that utopia.
I think, it is really important to have that level of, I guess, as a job role in the solutions architect, right? We sit between the product/business, and then the technical. So you have that understanding context of technical, but you also translate into a business terms that when you need to influence or negotiate with the business counterparts. So that is then some level of understanding on both contexts. I think is really important. Nadia, what do you think? Like, it's
because I was working as a solution architect for a while. I believe it's still the same. And what helped me a lot was getting certified, because being as a developer is different to being a solution architect. Certification helped me a lot to understand what sort of scenarios and problems you're trying to solve as a solution architect. And that helps a lot. And like Mason said, yeah, I think the label might change, like from solution architect to something else. But I don't think the job or the responsibilities will be different. So it's definitely something high in demand all the time.
Yeah, I think that's right, because the landscape changed slightly, right? In the past, when I was a software engineer, my only focus is on the programming languages and databases, and but now it's changed, because if you're a developer these days, you need to understand the whole landscape of like cloud, maybe a little bit of infrastructure, maybe a little bit more about security. So you need to have understanding of the other technology stack, not just on and one particular field. So that changes as the industry changes. So
yeah, I do agree with that.
We do have another question. Probably this is for Nadia from Elizabeth. What tech stack are you focused on in your current job? Tell us.
Sure. So we are using for front end, in terms of project, we are using PDK, AWS PDK, which is prototype built for applications. It's as it was the first time I'm experiencing it. It's amazing how you can have monorepo and build everything in different structures in one monorepo. It makes everything really, integration between services and different part of the system, really amazing. And using CDK for our infrastructure as code to deploying the resources to AWS. In terms of language, we're a combination of TypeScript and Python. And also we are using React and Next.js for our front end. And we use Smithy for our API level, which is a fully safe typed API. What else? And all the services is cloud-based, which is serverless application on AWS. So mostly all the services, all the core services, including machine learning services as well, such as SageMaker, everything on AWS. Yeah, we use those as our stack set.
Yeah, awesome. I hope that answered the questions, and Elizabeth. Okay, another question for Nadia. Sorry, we throw in question now from Chalmeister. Did your career shape you as a full stack engineer, or it was a choice? They're very interesting.
Yeah, I think combination of both, because I started as a consultant with Mechanical Turk. So as a consultant, you have to know everything end to end, because you have to solve different problems in different projects. I think by choice, I became a full stack developer to know everything end to end. But now today is my personal choice as well. And that's something I wanted to point out as well. So the label is different, because I'm now a full stack developer, but I do DevOps as well, to setting up everything, automating CI/CDs, making sure security is there. So everything, I think today, even though the label of the job is different, but as a developer, you should be able to put different hats on and help the team. So I think it's a combination of both to answer that question. Initially, when you are at the earliest stage of your career, you don't have a choice. You try to be generalized in everything. And then after that, you try to find out what's your passion, what you're passionate about. And now, yes, I think I love to be full stack. But as a confession, I more enjoy the back end of stuff. So this is my confession. But I love both. I love to know everything end to end. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. No.
You mentioned going general first and then specializing. I totally agree with that sentiment. Myself, I guess May as well. We're generalists and specialists in some aspects, and it's sometimes hard to know where to start. In order to know where you want to specialize, and you need to know broadly about what's available there in order to dive deep into that specific topic. So yeah, I'm still happy with being a generalist. May, what about you?
Yeah, I like to try lots of different things, and then see which ones spark my interest for how long. It's like after a few years, I might change my mind and jump all the way to, I don't know, Gen AI and stuff. But now it is in a different interest. So yeah, so what trying to absorb as much as I can and see which one is more interesting to me. But yeah, totally agree. Awesome. All right. I know we have got a few more questions, but I think we should dive into our technical demo as well. So if anyone who have questions for Nadia and Mai, please pop it in the chat. But Nadia, should we kick off with your technical topic today?
Sure. So I built a project which is called Christmas Musical Joy. I would build this project as part of AWS Devember for ANZ. And what is the AWS Devember? It's the program 12 days that showcases all the builders that they have built something relevant to Christmas to just celebrate Christmas all together in Australia. And my dog is inspiration for this project because I have a small Pomeranian and he's a barky, loud boy. So I was thinking there is a history, like there is a video that if you can play it, it's thanks to AWS, they featured it and built it. I explain what's the whole history and like a story behind this project, but that's something that I would like to talk about.
Yeah, awesome. So let's take a look at it. Let's see.
Living in Australia means I get to enjoy Christmas during the most beautiful time of the year. The sun is shining and I get my friends to come and visit me. This is great for me, but for Figo, this is probably the worst time of the year. As soon as the doorbell rings, he transitioned from a little fluffy bubble to a real Christmas Grinch. I wanted to know who is at the door without unleashing the beast that is Figo. There was a few options available, but I wanted to build something custom that wouldn't trigger Figo. Also, as a developer, it was a great chance for me to test my skills and learn something new. I already had the camera and a background of using AWS resources. So I set up Amazon Kinesis video stream to collect, ingest, and deliver the footage. Next, I needed to set up a service that tells me the difference between Amazon shopping deliveries and my friends that come into my party. Amazon Rekognition is the best choice here. It can process real-time data with face and text detection. It also has celebrity recognition. You never know who's going to show up. I was able to set up an AWS Lambda function that alerts me when my friends arrive. It can also pull a custom holiday tune from an S3 bucket for each guest. But next year, I'm gonna set it up to detect who has brought me some gifts. Well, Figo, he has never been happier. And my friends, they don't know each sign tells me if they are naughty or nice. It's a merry Devember for all of us.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that was the short one that I was just explains what's the history behind that, why I came with this idea. So I can walk you through the technical side as well, that how I have started building this. And I will share my screen if I...
Yeah, let's do that.
Are you seeing my slides now?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so I called it Christmas Musical Joy because as you see, it plays the music and it's just changed the vibe from my like people or my friends that they come and visit me. What I'm going to walk you through, we saw the demonstration of the app. I will walk you through the architecture because it's like important to find out what sort of services I've used and how they like work together. And finally, I would walk you through how I configured those, which is a really simple, like if you see this, oh no, how could that be possible that simple? Let's begin. So today's generative AI world, I think it's sometimes good to step back and find out what are our other options. Thanks to AWS, we have some AWS services that helps us to analyze and use data streaming, and also we have some AI out of the box ready services such as Amazon Rekognition that we can use those to build really great ML solutions out of the box from other AWS services. And that's how I came up with this idea. I have that camera that you saw it. It's just like an IP camera, and that's the point for building this whole project. You need to have IP cameras that you can communicate with them, through the API level. Then I have used Amazon Kinesis Video Stream. I have used Rekognition, a data stream, a Lambda function that do their own notification for me. And I have a couple of IAM roles that allow services communicate together. Now that we know the ingredients, it's not enough. I think we need to now get a tour of architecture diagram, how these are part of the combination of this combination and components work together. So I had the camera. A camera has been installed outdoor. And then when a friend comes in, I use Amazon Kinesis Video Stream that has been connected to my camera. And I'll explain how all this configuration works end to end. When the stream comes in, I have the Amazon Rekognition stream processor as well. That will receive the stream, process it, and it's connected to a face collection. I had put all of my friends' images there, and I've labeled them for example, someone is Nadia, someone is X. So Amazon Rekognition goes to that face collection, finds the person, and pass it to Amazon data stream. That's the result of analyze on that stream that has been received from Kinesis Video Stream. Then data stream is just a delivery system. So the first step is capturing that data. The next step is that now I have the analyze of that data. Who is there behind the door? I have a Lambda function that publish that analyzed result to SNS topic. That's the publisher for my SNS topic. Then I have another Lambda that is subscribed to that SNS topic, receive all the results of that analysis and find out who is there. And based on the name of that person, finds the special music from my S3 bucket. When I have the music, I have set up Telegram. It's a simple step chatbot. And Lambda will publish that message, that music, send it to my Telegram chatbot. When I have it, I can play it, and that my phone has been connected to the speaker. So I did not have very advanced speaker. If you have a speaker that has API and you can communicate with that programmatically, you can do that as well. So you can remove the Telegram phase and just directly your Lambda function be authenticated to send the music and play it in your speaker. So that's the whole picture. That is a start with them receiving the data, analyzing, and then doing something with that data. That's the whole workflow. So how is the configuration of the resources? I start with the IP camera. I have a TP camera, which is a very cheap version. I found it on Amazon. It's just $80. And what I did, all you need to do is creating a camera account. Today, most of the smart cameras, they have an application on your phone. Doesn't matter if it's Android or iOS. When you sign in for that application, you need to create a camera account, which is different to your application account. We use this one with your IP address of the camera to pass it to our Amazon Kinesis Video Stream, and then those two communicate together. Kinesis Video Stream will be authenticated to receive the stream from your camera. And the rest of it, as you saw, apart from camera, is all AWS resources. I'm using AWS CloudFormation to deploy the resources to AWS, and it's very simple stuff. And CloudFormation supports all the services I'm deploying. I start with the Kinesis resources. So as you saw in diagram, I have two Kinesis resources. One is data stream, and the other one is video stream. As simple as that, you can just search even for those resources, and there are plenty of CloudFormation resources examples that shows you how you can create those. Once I have those two resources, I added the Rekognition part. For Rekognition, I need two things. One is my face collection, that I put all the images that I have and created that collection and add all the images from my friend as part of that collection. it will assign an ID to those, and it makes it simple for Amazon Rekognition to find that face from the collection ID. And then Kinesis Rekognition stream processor is another one. As you saw in diagram, it receives the stream from Kinesis video stream, it processes it. So we need to have a processor. To configure your processors, you need to set up three things. You need to tell it where is your face collection. So you pass the face collection ID, and you tell it what's the stream that is entered to your Rekognition, and what is the output and where it has to deliver the resource, the stream. So I have configured the Kinesis video stream and Kinesis data stream as the input and output of my Rekognition. That's pretty much all the resources you require. Even though I have the repository that tells you what's the Lambda function, what it does, you can find it in that repository. And then all you need to do is to deploy all those CloudFormation. I build it packages, and I'm using CloudFormation deploy to deploy resources to AWS. As simple as that. So with these workflows so far, we created resources on AWS, but we haven't started the workflow yet. To do that, we need to run Amazon Kinesis video stream to get and receive the stream from our camera. That's the first command that you need to run. And that RTSP URL is the URL to your camera. It will be IP address and then username and password that we created at the first step for our camera account. Then next step is to create and run your Rekognition stream. So with that, you just can run the command, which is a start a stream processor, and pass the name of your processor name. That's all. The next step is just like you wait until someone show up at your door that you already have saved that person, and you introduce it in your face collection. I had my friend Erin. She came like at the door, and then I received the message with the music suggested to me to play for my friend. And that's pretty much it. As simple as that, you can set up this project in like even a couple of minutes. It took me I think for me, the most complex one is how to find out my camera, talk to Kinesis, and then all the resources I had in AWS was as straightforward because there are plenty of examples. Even there is a resource for Amazon Kinesis that has all the examples how you can create your resources for Kinesis. That was pretty much it I wanted to present. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something out of it. If you want to connect, that's my LinkedIn profile. And I will switch back to this because you might want to go to the repository and download or fork the example and expand on it. What I'm going to do next, as I said in the video, for this year, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and find out, because Rekognition identifies any object. So I want to see if my friends has brought any gift for me as Christmas. If they don't, I'm gonna play like a kind of embarrassing music for them this year. I'm just gonna tease them before they come in. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So I literally I can't wait for, I don't know, am I gonna get play a naughty music or a good music?
It depends. It depends. Yeah,
it depends. It depends. That's really cool. So you build out of these projects, set up the camera, use the Rekognition, Kinesis, and all the services out there on AWS. We have a few questions that's coming from the audience. The first one is on the SNS, where you send a SNS topic, you can probably send a text messages too. What do you think, Nadia? Can we send a text messages?
Yeah, you can do that because with SNS you can configure it and then it will just send the text messages. And that's what it's doing for, when I configure it for my Telegram, it's as a text message. For SNS, you can do that as well. But I think if you want to purely send messages to people's phones, you can use SES, which is more accurate for sending text and emails. But for SNS, I personally use it more for orchestrating different part of like events that just passing around in my architecture. So that's my main use case for SNS. And if you're just sending text messages, I use SES.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I have a question for you, Nadia. So what if like the person or object isn't identified by
Yes.
recognition?
So I have like in my function, I have a like use and like an if condition that tells me if it's not found in one of those, that it just tells me someone is at the door, and it still tells me a different like music that I know, oh, this is a different person. I don't know him and or her. So I will just go, and that just avoids my, because this is very quick action and notification. As soon as someone comes in, before they ring the bell, because my dog is very sensitive to ringing the bell or knocking at the door. Before they do that, I will be notified, and I will just play the music, change the vibe, and everyone will be happy, especially my dog. So that's how I'm just like avoiding that. It's just inform me that someone is at the door.
Oh wow, yeah, that's an awesome way to combat your dog from barking. So it goes to show how quick these AWS services work, right? So
Yeah. If anyone have a dog and it's gone somehow a little crazy when there are strangers at the door, it might be useful for a little fun projects. And I think it's more fun when you are a little bit more like personable in the projects, like your friends, your family. You're doing the facial recognitions of those. It's a bit more fun to work on the projects and see how could that change, how the other people, or Figo in this case,
Yes,
react to
bigger.
it.
Yeah,
Bigger.
I think
Amazing.
easiest way is to just train your dog to not bark. But I'm a failure in that space, and Pomeranians are really famous for barking. So it's better to find an alternative way.
Well, you are a builder, so might as well build something.
Yeah, why not?
And then
I
try
try to
improve. Yeah,
find a solution. Yeah, true. With my own skill.
Yeah, definitely. And then the next step in the project, like you mentioned, is to play a music based on that, based on the person. Like, it doesn't mean like if they bring a gift and if they're being good, they're gonna get good music.
I'm gonna be naughty this year. They never expect. So I'm gonna just expand on this idea and see that what I can do. It's just for fun, right? I'm just like, I probably do something that makes more fun for like people that come and visit me.
And I think that's a good way to learn and spend some time to learn new technology. Usually facial recognitions or like ML projects that you want to test it out. So I think it's a fun way to build something and learn at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's actually my approach. I feel like a couple of things, blog post, presentation, and building personal project is a great way to explore and learn, because it's all on your own interest. And when you do it, you need to just understand the concept properly to be able to explain it to other people or write about it or actually build it and see the result. So I think it's a great way to learn as well.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And I want to ask, like, I guess what I know it's the case of Figo in this project, but what inspired you or what gave you the idea? I was like, oh, I should go and build this, because sometimes I don't have a good idea to build something. So I'm like, how do you find a inspiration, not just on this project, to find, to do something?
In general, I think the more you read, or I don't know, following people, I think that's what works for me a lot. You see that, okay, what's out there, and then you can find, like I said, your own ideas out of other people ideas. You find out what other people are doing, and then you find out, okay, what's your interest, and you become creative. I don't say I'm creative, not at all, but you find out, like, your brain start like coming with some ideas that you say, okay, I want to build this. And it's just out of a personal interest as well, because I wanted really to play with kinesis and recognition, and combination of these two. And I had a camera just left in my a storeroom for a couple of years. And I thought, okay, what can I do with these? Like, I have these ingredients, what I can build. And then that's how I came up with the idea. I think it's a combination of a lot of things, your personal interest, people around you, and get inspired by them and finding ideas. And then the tools that you have as well. So it's just like combination all of those, I think.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I just want to ask Nadia, so let's say you've got an idea and you Google for that idea, and lo and behold, there's a GitHub repo that has all of that, and it builds it via CloudFormation. That's great. Now the question is, if you haven't touched a certain AWS service before, and you run into errors, right? Which is bound to happen. Where do you start in terms of like troubleshooting that if you're not familiar with that service?
I can give you two answers because it depends. If it was like before reInvent, Googling, going to documents, and I think it doesn't matter how many years you have experience. It's always like happened to us. We face something that you don't know how to deal with it. That's definitely, there is an answer out there. Either someone has experienced it before you, or there is a blog post, or documents. Like if you cannot find anything documents for that service, it's very like, it has troubleshooting. It gives you like all the information, how to build things. And even if they don't explain it in detail, which usually documents do, there is a link to like a GitHub repository with all the examples that you can find your use case. But these days, if I'm honest, as a confession, I use a lot of the AWS Amazon Q. Amazon Q is just like my thing because I have set it up in my VS Code, and I can just like find the errors. What's this error? How I can resolve it? Sometimes errors are really machine specific, like you cannot find out what's the root cause of that. But when you pass it to the models, because they have been trained, especially Amazon Q has been trained in like a couple of years of all the issues and data of everything that happens on AWS or outside AWS, you can just definitely like put that and gives you the answer, or at least direct you. And I'm not sure what's the group of people who are watching us, but Amazon Q is using the RAG, and RAG is just like retrieving and also generating answers based on the information. So RAGs usually provide you the source as well, something which is really useful when you use some services such as Amazon Q. It provides you the link, and if you don't understand that like part of answer, like immediately you can go to that link and find out how model has generated the whole response. You can read through all those, like if it has been generated based on a blog post or a document, you can read it fully and understand it. So yeah, that's why I said to have two answers. In a traditional way, I Google and read all the documents. And after reInvent version, is I just go with Amazon Q, or like finding out if it can provide me answers. Yeah,
that's an awesome answer. Yeah, I've played around with Q myself. I haven't tried out the new functionality for it to generate any Terraform or CloudFormation yet, but I think that'll be a cool
it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a lot of use cases, to be honest, so it's really hard to keep up with everything. For me, it's just like using my VS Code. I played it with Amazon Connect, which is like awesome because I can talk about this hours, but yeah, that one is also a good use case. Like it's a lot of use. You can use it with Amazon Insight as well. That just like give you all the analytics on the data. So it's a lot of use cases.
Yeah. There are so many use cases. So yeah, for anyone who haven't tried, I just dropped the link in the chat. Go and have a look through what Amazon Q does. And we also post a link on the Nadia blog post about this musical project. So if you want to know more details about the blog post and reach out to Nadia, please go and check out their blog post as well. So we're getting close to the time, but I also want to talk a little bit about Nadia, your recent community activities, and I know you are going to be part of the AWS Sydney Summit as well. So tell us a little bit more about the session that you're preparing, and where are you contributing to the community this year?
Sure. So I have two presentations. One is for as part of AWS Community Builder, which is introducing Unleashing Amazon Bedrock, and how you can use it effectively in your projects to have for your project excellence. I will talk about different patterns and workflows you can create with this service. And also I have another, I'm contributing, it will be short show off, but it will be contributing for super session with awesome Chris and Stephen. And I'm presenting Amazon Q in that presentation, which will be like a 5 minutes talk. But it's going to be awesome. I hope I see some of you guys there. But I'm pretty sure it will be a really exciting experience.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, for those who haven't seen who joined recently, so We talk about Sydney Summit that's upcoming on the 10th of April. So please go and register. It's a free day, conference day, lots of trainings and lots of technology sessions are happening on the day. Myself and Maya is going to be there. Nadia is also going to be there. So if you're going to be there, let us know, and we will love to meet you.
We also have a booth there. We also have a booth, AWS SheBuilds booth.
I forgot about that. Tell us a little bit about the booth, Maya.
So AWS SheBuilds booth will bring together, obviously, May and I and a couple others from the AWS SheBuilds program. We also have the mentorship program, which is open to everyone out there that wants to have a AWS mentor, guide them through their next stage in their career. But May and I will be talking more about, what's trending in the tech world, including, well, if we can squeeze it in, there could be some topics around Gen AI. Maybe we can have Nadia over to talk about Gen AI as well. But May and I will be talking about our summit topics, and we'll have other speakers who will be presenting their session there and dive deep into whichever topic of your choosing. So we'll love to see you there.
Yeah, if you're planning to join, please come by to the SheBuilds booth, and we will love to meet you. So with that, we're gonna close it out. But I just want to remind everyone who is watching, thank you so much to everyone who is tuning today, and happy International Women's Day to everyone. Thank you so much to Nadia and also Mai to being joining the show today. And I just want to remind, we're gonna come back a week after, so not next week, a week after, with the episode 2 of this series. So we will see you there.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.